Greetings, everybody. I'm going to show you how to do your quick mise en place for a, basically we're going to do a wok cooking, which is, what is wok cooking? Stir frying. So we're going to stir fry. And first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and do my little chiffonade where I rolled my cabbage. So I just want to basically grate it, and every time I roll something with a leaf like this and slice into it, I create a grade. So we're grating right now, so keep that in mind. We're also going to blanch. Blanching is huge when you're doing stir fry. That's how you get that color that you're looking for when you're stir frying, right? Because you want to blanch it. So the way you blanch, you have boiling water, like we have right here. You take your boiling water and you drop your vegetables in here. And what this does is this par cooks it. So that way when I stir frying really fast, I get a chance to use that fastness by having everything par cooked. In other words, halfway cooked. And by the time I finish cooking it, it'll be fully cooked once we start stir frying. So I'm also using some mushrooms that came out of the refrigerator. All this is leftover stuff. Some cabbage that we used earlier for some other cookery, and so now we're gonna use that for the stir fry. We have some meat that we used for another cookery, so we're gonna do like a beef type stir fry. And all this is all leftover things, garlic, onions, what have you, for our stir fry. So if you notice over here, another good part about blanching is it holds the color of the vegetables. You ever notice when you get something from a really nice restaurant, like the asparagus and the broccoli is really green? That's because they blanched it first, and the alkaline in those vegetables come out stronger. Whereas if you don't blanch them when you cook them, they turn into this like olive green color, which doesn't look very appetizing. So blanching is cool, and it just depends on the vegetable you're using. So no more than 1 minute in boiling water should be enough to get it blanched and get it, pretty much in the texture and feel that you want when you bite into it, so we don't overcook it. So there we go. I've got that blanched. Now I'm going to just drop it right into here, like this. See that? Just going to drop it into cold water. What the cold ice water does is it stops it from cooking. And that's why you call it blanching. You're just going to let it cook to a certain point, and then you drop it into cold water, and it stops the cooking. And so that's why we're doing this. We want to finish the cooking and as a stir fry, not as a boiled vegetable. And plus it holds all the nutrients and everything of the product itself. So again, blanch, cold water, stops the cooking, okay? That's the best way for me to put it, and certainly for English learning people. So there you go. Now I've stopped the cookery on this by putting it into cold water. So now we're ready to go. When you start cooking for stir fry, this is the most important time of remembering your mise en place. As soon as you don't have your mise en place handy, you're in trouble. So I'm looking at this now. What am I missing? I've got this, I got the stock, I don't really have garlic, so we're using onions. I know what we're missing, salt and pepper. So don't start cooking till you know you have everything, right? So let's look over here and see if we've got any salt and pepper around. There's some salt. All right, I don't have anything to put it in, so we'll just use it on the side for now, and I'll use a pinch of it. And then the pepper I'm not worried about, but I can use some hot sauce that was moved into the other refrigerator, that little like red sauce. Because I like heat, and I know you all like heat too, so we might as well heat it up. So here, let's get this going. First things first is we need to par cook the beef. We don't want to overcook the beef, but we want to coat it. So when we stir fry, it finishes the beef. So the way that works is we start, with a nice hot pan, all right? Oh yeah, we're gonna use some Tabasco sauce, my favorite. You can use a Chinese sauce as well if you'd like. So a Chinese hot paste, anything of that nature. But he brought out what he knows I like, and I love Tabasco sauce. So let's get this nice and hot. Your pan has to be hot. Hot, 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 hot. If it's not hot, it's not going to work. And make sure, again, you have everything. Just so you know what I have here, I have cornstarch mixed with water. This is going to thicken up our sauce, all right? I have some beef stock, or you could use beef broth, or you can use beef bouillon cube, whatever you're using. Make sure it's not too salty, okay? Because this is going to be part of the sauce that we're going to create in the long run. And then, of course, I've got the beef. Here you can salt the beef first. I'm just going to add a little salt to this for now, and I'm going to move it around. It's always good to salt your meat first. You know, meat really loves salt, and if you salt it first and let it sit, it'll actually absorb some of that salt and create a nice flavor in your meat, you know, which is good. So I'm going to make sure that's all nice in there and it's absorbing some of it. Then I have my blanched vegetables that I shocked. I stopped them from cooking by putting them into cold water. That's called shocking it. So we shocked it. Got it stopped cooking so we can cook it in our stir fry, and look at the beautiful color. Just look at the green on that. It's just so nice and green. So it's just great for color. So, you know, if you're at home with leftovers, go ahead and use this, man. Do this up. This is a lot of fun. I'm going to do the whole video like this because it's just going to give you the whole timing of doing this. Basically, there wasn't much for me to do but cut up the meat, some vegetables, and I'm ready. So here we go. This is nice and hot. Get it going. Get your meat in there. I already salted it. All you're doing is just coating it with color, right? And let me see if I can get the fan working on here. Hopefully it's working. Anyhow, oh, it smells good already. And you know, this here was leftover steak. What the heck, right? Leftover steak. So might as well put it to good use. I'll have enough here for 4 people or 3 people, or depending on who's eating it and the appetite, right? All you're doing here is creating a coating. You're creating a coating. Let me rinse this out so I can get this all nice and clean. Because I'm going to put this back for cookery anyway. Nice. See how nice and hot that is? This is how you operate. Really quick. And then we're ready to go. Look at that. You can add this on top of rice. Maybe you have some extra rice and you want to put it on top of the rice, or maybe you have brown rice because you're healthy. And brown rice never tastes really that great to me. I always make a stir fry for my brown rice. Just builds that flavor. So this is done. We're just coating it. Once you coat it, it'll hold flavor. It'll finish cooking because I only have small bites in there, right? So I'm going to put it back in here. Just drop it in there. There you go. Some other flavors on the ground. We'll just put them over there. All right, now we're ready to go to rock and roll some more. So we start everything as you know, one item at a time. I'm going to stick some onions in there because they take a little bit longer to cook. Some garlic and onions. I'm going to stick my mushrooms in there because they always take a little bit longer to cook. And I want to have them soft. All right. Put a little bit more oil in there. Put that over there. A little more salt in here, just a pinch. All right. And now, this is rocking and rolling for us now. Once you know that you're getting that flavor going, because I'm getting the pot hot again, but I want to get those mushrooms as soft as possible. So get those going. And once those are ready to go, we can go to the next step. I'm going to add my cabbage in there next. Cabbage in there. Some cabbage flavor in there. So everything's, you know, when you're working with a wok, it's one step at a time. Because some things cook faster than others, right? So here we go, adding this in there. That going. And now, put this over here. That's my cornstarch. Trying to get things out of the way. Dropping this back in here. Now I'm going to add my vegetables. All right. Yum. Check that out, huh? It's wonderful, huh? Got my vegetables in there. Now I'm going to throw my meat back in there. Once it gets a little bit hotter, I want to bring the temperature back up. Now we're going to add the meat back in. Yum. I think we've eaten too much already. I don't know, Molly, what do you think? Are you full? So now this is going pretty good. So far so good. I have some other onions that I want to drop in there. I'm going to throw those in there. And I have my stock. I'm going to throw my stock in there. Get that going. Maybe I'll add a little bit more in there. This is how you create your stir fry. Get it all nice and hot again. Get rid of all this. This. All right. Always clean up behind yourself whenever possible. My knife's there. I'm just going to use this since I used it to wash the meat thing. I'm not going to cut anything else anyway. There we go. Clean all this up. Now maybe I'll save that for tasting. There we go. Once this comes to a good boil, almost there, we'll add our cornstarch. It'll reduce it down into a sauce. And away we go. Thank you. I can give you that too. Don't need that. And you can see how easy this is. And you can see when you open up the meat how well it's cooking. You see, it's starting to cook in the interior of it. So, you just want to get it nice and tender, as tender as you want. What's nice about steak is that this particular steak is already tender. I think it's a flank. I'm not quite sure which one we have here. Actually. Oh, it's a London broil. No wonder it's so nice and tender. No wonder. All right. So now you get this going. You got your flavors going. And now all you have to do is thicken it up. And by thickening it up, we have our cornstarch. Roll the corn. The cornstarch has to be mixed into the water. You don't just throw cornstarch in it, it'll just turn into a bunch of little balls. But once you mix it into the water, now you're creating a sauce. And so now I can create a sauce out of this by throwing this in here, and it'll thicken up my sauce. And then I'm ready to go. It gives it a nice color, thickens it up, and we'll be ready to plate in a minute or so. So here I've got my garnish, some leftover pieces of onions and what have you that I had just to create a garnish for us. And now you just make a determination how thick you want your sauce. And the longer it cooks, the thicker it gets, obviously. So let that cook for a little bit longer. And we're ready to go, ready to rock and roll. All right. Very easy meals to make. Let's go ahead and drop this on here on our plate. This is our stir fry. I'm going to let this cook down for a little bit too so you can see what it looks like. Colors, look at the colors on this. It's great. Some mushrooms. Some steak. We'll just put a little more color on there. And then, Molly, can I get a spoon so I could show them the sauce? Can I get a spoon, Molly, so I could show them the sauce? Is there one there?
Okay.
Oh, thank you. All right, so just to show you how the sauce will thicken for you, just to give you an idea, perhaps you want to add more sauce to it, you just add it to the top. Someone banging at the door? Or is that you? And there you go. You have your stir fry. Bon appetit. I'm going to add some stuff on the top. And there's a quick stir fry that all of you can try and enjoy at home. Catch you on the next one.